Well, hello everyone. My name is Evelyn Sanguinetti, and I am your Lieutenant Governor. Today is a wonderful day because we're here to talk about good government. And I'd like to thank each and every one of you for being here to celebrate this momentous occasion. Now, many of you traveled through long distances. Many of you came from different parts of our great state. So I'm especially honored to have all of you that went those extra miles to be here. I'd like to also thank Hoffman Estates Police Department, who have allowed us to use the state-of-the-art facility. Isn't it amazing? I was kind of envious comparing it to our facilities in my hometown of Wheaton. But it's been wonderful to be here, so thank you for having us. And then finally, I'd like to extend a special thanks to Mick Fleming. He's made this all very possible today. He's the management coordinator for the Northwest Central Joint Emergency Management System, and he's cooperated hard to work in helping my staff organize this event. Now, for the past 4 years, Governor Bruce Rauner has put something in the front center, and that's been prioritizing local government reform. And I think we could all agree that Illinois needs more effective, streamlined, efficient government. And I think we could start with our property tax burden here in Illinois. I think all of us know that we're number one as far as property taxes and having that highest property tax rate. And that's certainly not something that we're not proud of. You know, it is crushing our residents. Also, 4 years ago, we saw that we not only had that highest property tax rate, but we had a bunch of units of local government. When you take a look at it, we have about 7,000 units of local government. Now, you think about it and you say, that's a lot. How do we compare to other states? Well, if you compare us to the state of Texas, for instance, you folks know that they're far larger and far more populous. Yet in the state of Illinois, we have 1,800 units of local government more than they do. So I think we could all agree that those are a lot of hands in the pockets of our taxpayers. And I think we could all agree that all of you have already done something about it. So today, the governor and I are here to honor you, to honor all of you for doing your parts, taking that initiative on your own power to streamline your operations, share services with your neighbors, share expertise, share space, share equipment. That's what it's about, collaboration. So in compiling our second edition of our Journal of Local Government, Shared Services and Best Practices, I'll have to say that our office received a total of 265 responses to our survey, which we selected the best 20 examples of how our schools, our municipalities, our townships, counties, park districts, fire and police districts, and other types of entities have worked together to share services, and all in the name of being good stewards for our taxpayers. So today, we have joining us dozens of public employees and officials representing 12 of those 20 shared service projects. Thank you once again for coming. Now, to understand the main goal of this journal, let me take you back to December of 2015, when the Local Government Consolidation and Unfunded Mandates Task Force was created. Now, I chaired that task force, and during our travels and our meetings, we came up with 27 bipartisan recommendations on effectively streamlining government. During my visits to all 102 counties, we discovered many examples of how local units of government share equipment, personnel, expertise, space, you name it. They entered into intergovernmental agreements, or IGAs, to be able to share this. And at the end of the day, costs less for government. We hope that with this journal, local governments can become inspired to follow your same practices, or at least start that conversation. They'll start that conversation with their neighbors. They'll be seeing all of you on TV today, and hopefully this will become common practice to start talking about how we could share services. We will start building that momentum after our launching of our second journal today, and we strongly believe that local leaders and residents should be empowered to find solutions that will serve their unique interests in their communities. Now, we have fought very hard and will continue to fight for comprehensive reforms to empower residents to consolidate units of government if they believe that their units are duplicative or excessive or ineffective. So I'd like to introduce to this podium a man that has always believed in efficient, effective, streamlined government since day one, and that is our Governor, Bruce Rauner. The podium is yours.
Good morning. Today is a great day because we're going to do two important things. Celebrate our public servants. It is a very noble calling, public service. We also want to celebrate efficient, effective public service. This is an important day for the people of Illinois. First of all, I want to say thank you. We are joined today by heroes. People who put their lives on the line, put their personal safety at risk every day to keep the people of Illinois safe. That is our police officers and our firefighters. They are our heroes. Let's have a round of applause for our firefighters and our police officers, our first responders. God bless you. Thank you. It's an honor for me to work for you. Thank you for your service. You are truly special individuals, men and women. You deserve our utmost support. But we are also joined today by community leaders, by school administrators, by township officials, by elected officials, mayors, city council members, township members, folks who've dedicated their lives to giving back and to serving the people of our beloved state of Illinois. It's a noble calling, it's very difficult, but these are the folks who try to make a better quality of life for all of us in this great state here, and we owe all of you as public servants, our deepest gratitude as well. Let's have a round of applause for our public servants. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And today we celebrate, we talk about the steps we're taking to provide the services that we're all passionate about on a more effective basis, on a way that we can keep taxpayers' burdens low so that they can keep more of their hard-earned money and they can put their money behind their children and their futures for their families. We have a moral duty to make sure that every taxpayer dollar is spent efficiently and effectively. Because we in public service, the money is not ours that we take in taxes. It does not belong to us. It belongs to the hardworking men and women of our state, the families of our state. It is their money. We're asking with them to part with some of it so that we can serve them, and we have a moral obligation to spend that wisely and very efficiently. Now, as Lieutenant Governor said, we have overall one of the higher tax burdens as a state in Illinois. We have, when you combine our income tax, property tax, sales tax, our various fees and levies, we are one of the more heavily taxed states. We're not number one, fortunately, but in that bad category, but we're heavily taxed. And our property taxes are among the highest in America. And it's hurting many of our families, our homeowners, and it's pushing many of our small business owners out of state. And we've got to do everything we can to try to reduce that tax burden. So Evelyn and I decided we would make efficiency in government one of the top priorities of our administration. And I want to thank Evelyn. She put together an outstanding bipartisan task force in 2015, right after the election. And we made it a priority to study on a bipartisan basis ways we can make government more efficient and effective. We called it the Task Force on Government Consolidation and Unfunded Mandate Relief. Not a very catchy, memorable title, but that's what we named it anyway. Very descriptive. They came up with 27 recommendations. If we implemented all 27 of those recommendations, our estimate is we would save Illinois taxpayers $3.5 billion per year. That is a lot of money for our schools, for our public safety, for our homeowners to reinvest in our business owners. That's a lot of money. And I'm proud to say, I believe there are 11 of those recommendations that we've implemented partially through legislation. So we've taken some small steps in the right direction. We have a long way to go. But a key part of the recommendations that the task force made was to expand shared services, expand sharing resources, sharing expertise, sharing equipment, so we could leverage the productivity of that equipment and those services to get the biggest bang for the buck. And Evelyn has studied the shared services agreements and the programs that have been done around the state every year since 2015. As she said, 265 examples were studied this year, and the team picked out 20 of the very best, most impactful shared service programs. And we're very honored. We've got 3 of those who we're recognizing for their exceptional efficiency and shared services here to speak with us today. There's also another dozen that we're honored to have join us today, so we could recognize them and cheer them and use them as role models and inspiration, so that we can use the examples here to roll throughout the state and use their ideas and their approaches to saving taxpayer money across all 102 counties in our state and drive more value for taxpayers, and as a result, bring more businesses here and have higher family incomes and a higher quality of life, because in the end, that's what it's all about. So we're honored to celebrate you today, the 15 men and women who've been leaders in shared services and government efficiency. Thank you for that, and we look forward to celebrating you here this morning. Thank you all very much.
All right, so now for the exciting part. Like I said, we have so many great examples, but unfortunately, we won't have the time to discuss each and every one separately. So I'd like to highlight 3 of them. One in the area of education, another one in the area of emergency management, and then one in the area of social services. Our first example is from the Silvis School District 34 and East Moline School District 37. These districts recognize the need to share services and facilities to maximize savings for taxpayers. With us today, we have Silvis School District 34 Superintendent Terry Van de Wiede, who will tell us about this project. Kindly step up. Terry, thank you so much for joining us, and the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and you got that name right the first time. That doesn't normally happen. So I want to thank the Lieutenant Governor and her office, as well as the Governor, for the invitation to be here to speak about the Silvis School District and the partnerships that we have. I believe the 2 major benefits of shared services for our districts are, first of all, as you had mentioned, saving our taxpayers money. We definitely want to be good stewards of the taxpayer dollar, and our school district and our school board has been very clear in terms of making sure that we really spend our taxpayer money in a good way and wisely. But the second thing is that through partnerships, we're able to improve the level of service and programming for our kids. And as a school district superintendent, that's really what my focus is every day, is expanding services for our children. So I need to go back a little bit. I am a 4th-year superintendent in the Silvis School District, honored to be their superintendent. The prior superintendent, Ray Burglas, as well as the East Moline School District Superintendent, Kristen Humphreys, who couldn't be here today. He's in the middle of contract negotiations. I think we can all agree he would rather have been here today. Anyway, he couldn't make it. But Ray Burglas and Kristen Humphreys started conversation around how they could work together to not only save the Silvis taxpayers money, but again, providing a higher level of service. And so what they did is they started talking about, first of all, food service. Our food service program was not one that was profitable. We were losing a lot of money on that. And they have an outstanding food service director, and so they started having that conversation, well, could we partner together? And so what has happened is that we have an intergovernmental agreement, and East Moline School District actually supervises, and they're the administrator of our food service program. And we now, I'm glad to say, have a very profitable food service program. We're not losing money anymore. The food quality, I would say, has improved. The chicken nugget mashed potato day is extremely popular. And we also are able, because we're a small staff, we're a school district of 650 students. We have a 70% poverty rate in our district. Every student receives breakfast and lunch at no cost. Just to give you a little bit of an idea of our demographic. And so the central office in the Silva School District is yours truly, the superintendent and the business manager. I do not have a secretary. We get the work done because we need to, because for a lot of years, our district is, according to the State Board of Education, is funded at 56% of adequacy. And so thank you for signing the bill into law for evidence-based funding, because for us that meant an additional $280,000. For a lot of places that maybe doesn't sound like a lot of money. For us, that is huge. And so I think over time, I just want to be clear, we'll continue our partnerships because it's good for our community. But I think there's a saying, necessity is the mother of invention, right? So it was at that time necessary for them to pursue those partnerships. So anyway, he was able to also write a grant for the fresh fruit and vegetable program. And so our kids get to try like 47 different fruits and vegetables throughout the year, and we just don't have the staff to write those grants. So that's the first partnership that we have with East Moline. The second is for maintenance services. So the East Moline district, actually, they take care of all of our maintenance and operations. We do have our own custodial staff that do an amazing job, but that means that we don't have to outsource to have work done within our district. And just last week, we were able to install a new playground for our pre-K students, and they came over and they were instrumental in that installation of that playground. They also supervise and lead our EL program, which is English Learner Program. And so, as you can see, East Moline and Silvas have really embraced the partnering to improve services for our kids, but it's also a revenue source for the East Moline district. I'm not done yet, though. We also, interestingly enough, our junior high, which is where the district office is located, is actually about a mile from the East Moline School District district office and transportation facility. And 5 years ago, a new junior high was built. And at that time, they were thinking, should we build a new facility to house our buses? And so Dr. Humphreys and Ray Burgess again spoke and made the decision, rather than spending taxpayer dollars to build a new bus facility, we would lease space from them. And so our buses are parked in their facility, and it's a beautiful partnership. We also have partnerships with other districts that I'll just mention real briefly. We work with the Riverdale School District, which is another neighboring district. They could not afford to hire a full-time bus mechanic, and so they reached out to us, and through a partnership they were able to hire that person, and they provide our services when we need them. We also provide special education busing to 2 neighboring partner districts, which are also elementary districts, and we have a purchasing agreement for fuel through United Township High School. So we are an elementary district. There are 5 elementary districts that feed into United Township High School. On the student side, we now have since I've started, we have a cooperative football team. We didn't have football in our school, and so we partnered with 3 of the other elementary districts, and we now have our own football program. We have a co-op program, so we're able to offer that service to our students, and they love having it within their school. And then kind of the overarching umbrella over all of this work that I think started conversations is the United Education Foundation. And that is the umbrella for the high school district as well as 5 elementary districts. And we call ourselves partner districts. And we are truly partner districts. We call each other all the time. We work together on behalf of kids. And that foundation provides many grants and scholarships to the students in our district. Finally, I wanted to mention just kind of the evolution, some things that we do have that we're discussing and we have moving into the future. Safety is at the forefront of our mind every day, and so we work together with East Moline, and we have a reunification plan that we develop jointly. So as I mentioned, the East Moline Administrative Center is about a mile from our junior high, and we're actually the closest of all the Silvis East Moline schools to their facility than any of the East Moline schools. And it really was necessary because there's so much cross in terms of police departments, municipalities. There's an East Moline school that is in Silvis. There is a Silvis school that's in East Moline. Did that make sense? And so right now we have that reunification plan. So whether it's an East Moline school that needed to evacuate or it's a Silvis school that needed to evacuate, we have one reunification plan, and we worked on that together. And that's better for our law enforcement because we're all on the same page, and it's better for our school districts in the area. And the last thing that I'll mention, we do have other things that we're discussing, but is that we are working on an intergovernmental agreement for a liaison officer. We are not large enough as a school district to support a liaison officer on our own. And so we have reached out to 2 of our school districts, and we're trying to figure out, because of the different police departments and the different governmental entities, how we can put together an agreement so that will benefit our kids and the kids in the other districts. So for me, again, our goal is always, as a district, to be a good steward of the taxpayer dollar, but the bottom line is these partnerships have really helped to improve the level of service and opportunity for our kids, which is what we work on every day. So again, I want to thank you for allowing me to be here today. It really truly is an honor to be here with everyone, and congratulations to everyone as well for thinking outside the box and thinking about how we can do things a little bit different. So thank you so much.
All right. So here it is. Governor, if you want to hold one up.
Okay.
Here we go.
Are these both the same?
Oh, one's for East Moline.
You're accepting
Oh,
it for
great.
these 2.
I
Oh,
am.
good.
Yeah.
East and Silvis.
Okay.
Thank you. Congratulations
Thank you so much.
again.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Yes.
Congratulations again.
Thanks.
Oh, yes, I was going to keep your mental impressions. Thank you, and congratulations again. Our second example is from the Northwest Central Joint Emergency Management System, a tremendous collaborative effort by 10 communities here in the Northwest suburbs to provide for shared regional emergency management services. What this project has done is absolutely remarkable. On average, each community sees a cost savings of approximately $50,000 per year. Collectively, all 10 of the municipalities are saving more than $600,000 a year. And with us here today, we have Mick Fleming, the coordinator of this project, who will tell us more about this project. Please come to the podium, and congratulations.
I'd like to invite all of our members in attendance to come and stand up here with me.
Great.
So we're going to steal half the room from you guys for a minute. So I'd like to start off by saying thank you to Lieutenant Governor Sanguinetti for recognizing the Joint Emergency Management System as a shared service best practice. And thank you, Governor Rauner, for being in attendance here today as well. A few years ago, the municipalities of Arlington Heights, Buffalo Grove, Elk Grove Village, Hoffman Estates, Inverness, Mount Prospect, Palatine, Rolling Meadows, Schaumburg, and Streamwood came up with a concept of providing shared emergency management services. The idea started as a way to better serve our community as a whole through integration and the sharing of best practices, rather than dividing ourselves by our municipal boundaries while duplicating our efforts. When storms and other disasters impact our part of the northwest suburbs, they don't adhere to those municipal boundaries. As emergency managers, as first responders, and as neighbors, our responsibility to the community does not change no matter what the community's name is. So it only made sense that when we develop our emergency management program, we had the mindset that when those extreme events occur, we'd all be on the same page. Before the creation of the Joint Emergency Management System, each community had varying levels of emergency management preparedness. Some communities had a full-time position, others had a part-time position, in some cases there was a volunteer, and in some cases nothing at all. Our goal with the Joint Emergency Management System has been to build a robust regional emergency management capacity through joint training, planning, exercise, and overall cooperation across all of our municipalities. Collectively building on our successes while also learning from our mistakes. We are proud to say that our emergency management program is flourishing, and the capabilities that we have built are bringing our region to a new level of preparedness. Collectively, we have redeveloped our emergency operations plans in all 10 of our communities so that we can better integrate our responses and avoid potential conflicts in our operations. They now read consistently across the region while meeting and exceeding state and federal standards. We've pushed beyond the basics. We've developed comprehensive continuity of operations and continuity of government plans, ensuring that our entities can continue to function in the event of a disruption to our critical government services. Each year, we hold a training and exercise planning workshop where we discuss our program priorities, we evaluate our capabilities, and we determine where we can focus more of our training and exercise efforts. A result of this workshop is a 5-year training and exercise plan which outlines our exercises, allowing us to build on the complexity as we move forward. Over the last 2 years of our program, we've developed and held over 40 exercises with involvement from local fire, police, public works, school districts, hospitals, and park districts, totaling over 800 exercise participants. Each exercise that we hold is documented in an after-action report which highlights our strengths and our areas for improvement. We then share those after-action reports with all of our members so that we can all learn from every exercise. In regards to training, we've used our collective size as a force multiplier to fill our classes and to bring in new and more advanced training for our staff. In the spirit of standardization, we've trained over 85% of our critical emergency operations center personnel in our local EOC position trainings. Not only are our staff capable in functioning in their respective emergency management roles, but they're also trained to the exact same level and in the same manner as their counterparts in neighboring communities. This allows us to draw from a larger pool of trained and capable emergency management staff if we ever had to lean on them. On the horizon, we're developing a shared resource repository where all of our communities can access resources, enabling us to better share what resources we have locally during a disaster. We continue to explore new ways of increasing our resilience through our commitment to standardization in our regional approach. Finally, I'd just like to recognize everybody that's standing up here with me. They really make this program work, and they believe in it, and they are why it's a success. So once again, I'd like to say thank you to the Lieutenant Governor and your staff. Fantastic in putting this all together. And I truly hope that the recognition of our program becomes an example for other municipal or county entities, both here in the state of Illinois and across the country, as another way of providing effective and efficient emergency management services. So, thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Ed.
All right.
Squeeze that in.
Come on in.
Speech.
Thank you. Congratulations again. Congratulations. And keep your recommendations coming. Congratulations. Oh my gosh. Don't get me started. Oh. Thank you. Congratulations, guys. Now, there are a few actors here that have been honored with our first journal, and this only goes to show that you got to keep your creative juices flowing. Give us more ideas for our journal next year. Nothing prevents you from being showcased again with another one of your local ideas. Our third example is from River Forest Township, which offers an amazing youth intervention program for at-risk youth. This program is highly successful and demonstrates a high degree of collaboration across taxing bodies and communities. With us today to tell us more about this program is John Williams, Youth Interventionist Program Director and Youth Services Director for Oak Park and River Forest Townships. Now, John is speaking today on behalf of River Forest and Oak Park Township Supervisor Carla Sloan, who couldn't join us today as she's in Alaska. Please come to the podium with your partners. I believe there are 8 of you. So, John, please have the podium.
Hey, good morning. Since collaboration, we had have some of the folks on our team here, and already had thanked Carla Sloan from the Supervisor for Forest Township, and from River Forest Township here is Trustee Helene Connolly, Supervisor for Oak Park Township, Claire Marie Keenan, my boss, Manager for the Township, Gavin Morgan, and then our team in Youth Services, Ashley Zito, who's our Administrative Assistant, and then the 3 interventionists, we call them Youth Interventionist Coordinators, and those are Amanda Miller, Dominique Hickman, and Bryson Blackwell. Now, the way that our program came together was we tried to do this as a preventative program while we had local youth gang issues coming up in the area. And the town wasn't ready for it. Towns weren't ready to do it as a preventative measure. So what happened was we had a drive-by shooting at one of our elementary schools, middle schools, and then someone was beaten to death right on the corner out by the police department as a result of things that happened from that night. So they call this a policy window. We had this story where we think that something happens and then smart people get together and create something and then go out and implement it. What social policy folks tell us is that there are folks walking around with full-blown ideas and solutions in place, and then there's folks working around with problems, and a policy window is when those 2 things happen at the same time, and a crisis usually brings it out, and we had a crisis. So this thing that we were talking about all of a sudden became a program, but we had to find a way to fund it. So the way that we did it, since it was in nobody's budget, is that we funded it between 11 taxing bodies, 2 villages, 2 townships, 2 library systems, 2 park district systems, and 3 school districts. All put money in through the township to work out to fund this program. The other benefit from it is that the sum is greater than the whole of its parts, or the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. That's the way that goes. But working all together, we weren't able to just share resources financially. We were also able to share information. We were also able to share intelligence, share human resources to go and help kids and families who were in a bad spot out. And anyone who's had a situation where they have a loved one who's been involved with gangs, drugs, violence, knows that there's no such thing as too many resources to bring to help your loved one out at that time. So we were able to coordinate those services, bring it all together, do it in a very cost-effective manner, and keep that coalition going. I'm proud to say that we are just finished our 24th year of being able to hold 11 taxing bodies together and united as we go through that. We just signed the agreement again. 10 of the 11 are still together on that front, and we're going to keep on marching forward and doing everything we can to help out young people and their families. A friend of mine said a while ago, most important job in the world is to raise a good human being. And it turns out that there are people who need a lot of help with that. None of us do it all on our own. And we want to keep helping people become who they are in the world. And when they do that, less trouble and better benefit for everybody. So thank you for this recognition. Governor and Lieutenant Governor, really appreciate that. And congratulations to everybody else who's getting recognized today. Thank you.
Thank you. So we have two.
How cool.
Okay, you're my size, so we go in the front. It's great to be sure. All right.
Are you okay? You want to come? Are we good? Oh.
Are we all in?
Great.
There are some-
Congratulations.
I think we could all understand why these three awardees were showcased. They're doing phenomenal work. And so congratulations again, but there are lots of stars out here that have done amazing work as well. So we have a few minutes left to present certificates of recognition to the rest of our award winners who are being highlighted in this journal. So if you could tune into the journal, they're in there and they're with us today. As I read the descriptions of your projects, please come to the podium for a photograph. There are many descriptions, so don't be shy. The first one, Riley School District 18 and Marengo Union ECD 165. Let's start stepping up.
Congratulations.
Everyone, welcome. Riley and Marengo school districts share personnel in areas of high demand, including a speech pathologist, a school psychologist, IT coordinators, and bus drivers, among other professionals. The intergovernmental agreement between the districts was signed a few years ago, but the efforts to share services and facilities have been ongoing for decades. Accepting this award today on behalf of both school districts is Superintendent Christine Conkley. And congratulations. Thank you. Wonderful work, Christine.
Thank you.
All right. Next up is Hannaga Community School District 207 in Northern Illinois. These are 4 elementary districts and 1 high school district who have discovered a unique way to collaborate. Because they share the same families, the superintendents and business managers decided several years ago to work together not only regarding school calendars and events, but also regarding the sharing of various business services to provide quality services and better economies of scale to the districts, their families, and their taxpayers. Accepting this award today is Superintendent Michael Dugan. Congratulations. Congratulations again. Next up is Cuba Township Road District. The Cuba Township Road District is contracted by the Village of Lake Barrington, Village of Barrington Hills, Village of South Barrington, Village of Tower Lakes, and the Village of Port Barrington to perform a variety of road maintenance and snow removal services. Throughout all these communities, the Cuba Township Road District covers approximately 350 lane miles of roadway. Accepting this award today is Thomas Padgorski. And congratulations to all of you. Thank you. Next up is the Bloomingdale Park District. My good neighbors. Bloomingdale Park District, Village of Bloomingdale, and Village of Bloomingdale Public Works, Bloomingdale Police Department, DuPage County, and Bloomingdale Township Highway Department collaborate to bring various community activities, and services. Accepting this award is Carrie Fullerton, Executive Director of the Bloomingdale Park District. Congratulations, Carrie. Congratulations. Next up, we have Buffalo Grove Park District. Buffalo Grove Park District entered into multiple intergovernmental agreements with Killdeer Countryside School District 96 for exclusive usage of facility space. This space was negotiated through capital support provided by the Park District for facility improvements. Accepting this award will be Julie Schmidt, Superintendent of the School District 96, and Erica Strugines, Superintendent of Recreation. Congratulations.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Congratulations. Warrenville Fire Protection District is being honored today, as well as Naperville Fire Department border each other and dispatch the closest, most appropriate unit to the scene of an accident. They utilize the same policies, the same procedures in operations and training. And they are starting to use technology such as global information system, automatic vehicle location, and analytics to be smart with their shared resources so that they save money and increase efficiency. Accepting this award will be Warrenville Fire Protection District Fire Chief Dennis Rogers and Naperville Fire Department Fire Chief Mr. Mark Pucknitis. Congratulations. Wonderful, congratulations.
Thank you, ma'am.
Oh, congratulations. Wonderful work. Next up, we have the Village of Wadsworth. The Village of Wadsworth currently operates 7 intergovernmental agreements related to government contracting and shared services with neighboring townships, municipalities, and fire protection districts. Accepting this award today will be Village Administrator Moses Amada.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations. Wonderful work. Congratulations. Next up, we have St. Charles Park District. In December of 2015, the St. Charles Park District entered into an intergovernmental agreement with St. Charles Community Unit School District 303 to manage the Norris Recreation Center's programs, memberships, and services. The school district retains ownership of the physical building and property. Accepting this award will be Jeff Greenwald, Superintendent of Recreation. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations. Next up, we We have many. This is good government at work. Next up is Waukegan Park District. The Live Well Lake County Action Team, called Be Active Walking, is led by the Gurnee and Waukegan Park Districts to create programs that support walking to improve residents' health and build community. With the high rates of obesity, diabetes, and depression, Waukegan became the priority to pilot a walking program that could be replicated in other communities. This program, called Go Gurnee, is an existing program that encourages individuals to walk at least 30 minutes per day and serves as a blueprint for the Waukegan pilot program. Accepting this award today will be Eric Beverly, Superintendent of Recreation for the Waukegan Park District, and Shelby McDonald, Manager of the Field House for Gurnee Park District. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations. So once again, congratulations to all of you, and thank you, Governor Bruce Rauner, for bringing consolidation, sharing of services, expertise, equipment, and space. He brought it to my attention over 4 years ago, and let me tell you, this has been the gift that has kept on giving, because I keep on hearing stories about units of government that know how to do the right thing on their own power to deliver effective, efficient government for its people. So once again, congratulations, and don't forget, there will be another journal next year. So send us your ideas and continue to collaborate. Our people need it. Thank you, and have a great journey.